Hello, everybody. I'm at Parcaut and Brian Galke, and we're Aces 53. And let's get into it. We got a short show today. A lot of stuff going on. Uh, we'll have a Joker next week. Today, Brian's a Joker.
Yeah. Well, and part of the reason why we're keeping it short is just like everything, life gets in the way, right? There's just so much going on. You just got off a podcast interview. I met with another speaker yesterday. He was in from out of town. I'm going to go meet with another speaker who's in town today. And it's just one of those things that we've been talking about. It's been slow for a lot of people, but recently business has been picking up. And that's not for everyone, but it's how do you adjust whenever, you have things into a certain plan and a set, and then you have to start moving and changing things and trying to figure out how to fit it all in. And I think that's something that everybody goes through, is those periods where it's dead and then all of a sudden it's super busy again.
Right. Which is good. But, and again, it's just, you never know. I mean, things just happen, and we're not, busy shaming you, I hope. Right. Yeah, just kidding. I hate when people do that stupid. Don't busy shame me, and just because I'm not busy. But we have control over what we do.
Right.
Pick up the damn phone. I got busy. I picked up the phone.
Right.
It's amazing. Now, not that I hadn't done it before, but things had changed. I made some phone calls. Next thing I know, I'm inundated. Everybody I talk to is like, yeah, do it. I take it back. Out of 5, 1, I mean, I'll just say example. I call 5 people, 4 of them jumped on it. The 5th one's still going to do it. He just, it's just, and I'm just saying that's just that one moment. Not that's all. I didn't just call 5 people, but out of the 5, I'm just saying it's just, it makes no, if you sell it right. And that's what's been nice about, we use so much of ChatGPT, but I rewrote my letters of how I explain what we're doing and where the cost is and why we're doing it. And I was like, oh, wow, this is so much better than what I was doing even a week ago. And people are like, okay, I understand now. The cost is only like nothing. Mm-hmm. And, if we don't have the appraisal, we have appraisal waiver. There's no cost there. The cost is my impound account, which has nothing to do with you. Correct.
You remember Larry, the red hat guy that we had on before?
Yeah.
He just did a post on Tuesday that said, or on Wednesday, ChatGPT just released their voice interactive ChatGPT. So instead of having to type out your questions, if you have the right, if you do the paid service and everything, there's now an interact with the voice. And he's saying it's changing everything, because instead of having to type out a question, he just starts having a conversation with it back and forth. So we should probably play with that in the next week or two and then have him back on. But that's going to be a huge change as well. Is when you can have a conversation with AI instead of just having to think and type things out. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, you can dictate to it.
Yes.
And just have it type it for you.
Right.
I want to write a letter. Okay, open up. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Now fix it for me.
Yeah.
Because I use it for all my texts now. I use it for all my, that's the only reason I'm thinking about getting the new iPhone, is because then it automatically does it for you. My question is the new software going to work on the older phones? It only works on the new phone.
Probably on the newer phones. It's one of those, I'm excited to get a new phone, and I'm scared to get one at the same time, because I don't know how well they really have it all thought out. But
when it starts, go ahead, open up my bank account and send money to Brian.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
The heck?
Right. Well, I did see there's a whole other thing about now they're saying it's going to be the cheater's iPhone, because you can go in and lock an app, the new iOS. I saw something on Instagram, iOS 18, you're going to be able to lock an app. And when you lock an app, it won't give notifications, won't let you see anything. And you can even hide the app, even though it's still on your phone. And so they're calling it the Apple cheaters iOS.
You know what I mean? People are going to cheat no matter what they use.
So. Exactly. Yeah. So that was the big Instagram thing that I saw this week, was ChatGPT going to interactive voice and Apple iOS. So.
Wow. And then you sent the other thing the other day about the new Instagram, where you can just, it'll tell you what to do to go viral.
Somebody said that you can go in, and I saved the video and I need to go back and watch it. But yeah, supposedly you can ask it, what does my audience need? What should I be doing? How can I sell more? And it's going to get there. But every software has it. So it used to be Martha that, what was the one that she used to use? Hey, Jasper. Jasper. Yeah. Now there's not really a need for software like that. You can go in. I typed something on LinkedIn. I posted it yesterday and it's like, do you want AI to rewrite this for you? So LinkedIn posts are doing it. Facebook posts are doing it. You can go into the search and AI feature within Instagram, Meta, you name it. And even MailChimp was asking me before I swapped. I finally shut them off yesterday, and I'm completely go high level now. And I will be one of their speakers come September or October. But
we're in September, the last few days of September. So I assume
I know that's what it's all starting to run together, man.
Before you know it's the end of the year. It's going to be gone.
Yeah. I think it's let me see. I was just talking with them again today. So I think it's October 24th. I get to speak on the main stage.
Do you get any free tickets?
They do give me a free ticket to it. I'll have to see if they can give me 2.
Well, don't you? Oh, because one for you mean?
Yeah. Let's see here. It is going to be on, October 22nd at 1:15 p.m. Central on the main stage. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. There's just so much new stuff happening and so many things that it's just a matter of how you're going to use it for your business. And don't get tied up with all the new gadgets. Just focus on business, but use it. How can you be more productive? That's how I'm using it. And how can you get what you're trying to say across better so people can understand it much faster?
But this goes back to what we talked about on Tuesday. And that is, now more than ever is when you need to get in the rooms and get face-to-face contact with people before you get weeded out. So I know that's one of your big goals in 2025 is start re-attending events that are going to help your business. You're already helping it with AI. You're already making tweaks from home, but you're also realizing that the people part of the business is vastly important. And go ahead.
No, I should have just shut up. I'm sorry. I apologize. My AI told me to talk.
Yeah. I was just saying that's the whole reason why I'm meeting with speakers this week is found out they're coming to town. I want to get to know the speakers, not who are they online, but if they're going to be in my area and I can go and meet with them. And I've been on their podcast, I've met them over the phone or whatever, but nothing will replace face-to-face time.
No, and that's what everybody's going to crave, and that's what it's going to get back to. 2025 is going to be the in front of it, face-to-face again with everything. Right. And you can keep going because people are going to get to the point where they're going to go, I don't know if you're real or not.
Yes.
Because you could be, because there's even these avatars that look like real people that you give the information to and they can create all this stuff. You don't have to do anything. Well, why even want, it'll get to a point if that's taken over, people are going to go, I'm going to stop looking at TikTok. I'm going to stop looking at Instagram. I'm going to stop looking at Facebook because it's all fake shit and I don't need to see it.
Well, some of the highest converting videos on Instagram are faceless videos where all you see is somebody's hand, VSLs, which is video sales letters. When it becomes that AI takes over everything, you're right. There's going to have to be a, how do I know you're a real person type situation? And I think that's where people going live and doing something to let them know that you are a real person and not a my Brian bot type situation. A completely side note, this is my ADD kicking in. You remember Brian Bogert?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got to start watching his stuff on Instagram. He has this little $200 drone that will fit in your hands, and it takes off through facial recognition. It knows where you are, and it flies around you in a radius. And he started taking it to speaking gigs. I'll send you a video of it. And now when he's walking up on stage, his drone follows him up there and records content for him while he's up on stage.
Wow.
Yeah. And we went outside and you can go for a walk. It follows you. And I'm just sitting here thinking, really cool, really interesting. We're not that far away from drones being able to see you, identify you, and come and catch you, kill you. You name it. So,
they're already there, dude.
I know.
The military has them.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to get to a point where, but drones are one thing. Again, you got to make sure that you can fly them in the area you're at.
Right.
Because, a lot of places you can't fly drones. You're not supposed to fly drones. You got to be really careful with those these days. So,
yeah. Well, this is one that only goes like 20 feet in the air.
I know, but it doesn't matter. It's still a drone, and it doesn't have the exception. This is exception for this little drone that's this size.
When we were in Vegas and he was showing it to me outside, it was circling around and it flew by one of the guys that sweep up trash, and the guy tried to hit it with his broom. He's like,
exactly.
Yeah.
People don't want that stuff, and that's getting into other people's areas, and that's what the problem is going to be. And it's going to get to a point where, and I could be totally wrong, but I think it's going to get to a point where people are like, you're into my area. I don't have any privacy anymore.
Yeah,
get away from me with your stuff.
Well, we keep talking about every industry gets affected differently. So they're saying, within 5 years we won't have Uber anymore. I will most likely still stick to Uber. Why? I like talking to my drivers. but they're going to figure out how to have you chat with an AI bot while you're going somewhere. And I still have that level of trust that even though people are flawed, the other technology is not there yet, but we're not that far away from it.
Yeah, I won't be talking to AI.
Yeah.
Unless it's a real person, I'm not talking to it.
But you look at how many, that's what I think we have to focus on. And I say you, me, everybody who listens is 2025, get in the room, get to know people, get on the phone with them, let them know you're a real person, because that will be the way to stand out in 2025. You can streamline your business, but if you streamline it too much, your clients will start to fade away.
Yep. And again, you should be they need to talk to you. I'm getting so much more business, again, going back to talking to clients constantly. Unlike before, my staff handled everything. Yes, I did very well, and I was out and doing all this other stuff. But the more I speak with my clients, the more interaction I have, and the more I get busier. Yes, they're going to get to a point where I can't handle everybody, but I'm not going to hand off those clients to somebody. They're going to be another person like me that's going to be handling my clients, but they won't know of me. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I do think it's just branding is going to become more and more important, right? How do you stand out? But being in person, being personable, being reachable, and being real. And what I mean real is you can use AI bots for some of the things, but people want to get to know the you behind your brand and start answering your own DMs. Whatever you can do to stay relevant in people's lives is how you will stand out in the future.
I had a guy I just interviewed this week. He is Mr. Productivity. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Yeah. So he's been doing, he has 1,300 episodes of his podcast.
Wow.
And he does 2 a week. So he's been doing it a while, but he only place he really posts video is on LinkedIn, and they only allow him 15 minutes through all the stuff. And people reach out to him all the time going, "Hey, you're not really getting many views on this." He goes, "Dude, I get all my business through the DMs on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
That's where I get my clients. That's where I get everything from." You don't see that side of what's happening. And that's what you have to look at. There's software out there that'll help you get, even on Facebook, people through DMs and other stuff that you should be connecting with your group, connecting with other stuff. And again, I mean, there's just so much stuff out there that you could, like I asked you, did you know about Simplero? And you're like, oh yeah, of course. They spoke at whatever, and they had, even them used to use it before high level. But I'm thinking it's simple. That's why the name is there. And for most people to have to go to high level, because I interviewed a guy, he's like, okay, this will help you do with your course. I want this amount of money, plus I want 15% of your revenue over the next, so whatever. That's not the one you sent me, it's somebody else.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, well, I have no problem giving up revenue, but my question is, okay, why do I have to pay you so much up front? And you want 15%?
If you're taking a percentage,
right? I should have to pay you hardly anything, and I'll give you more percentage.
Exactly. If you're going to do more sweat equity, then, same thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, but again, they on Simplero will, it's like $100 a week. They have this huge boot camp.
Really?
Or if you pay for a full year subscription, if you do on the yearly subscription, it's for free.
Yeah. Nice.
And they just started this. It started this week as I'm interviewing the guy. So I'm just saying I'm getting to a point. What I'm trying to get is there's so many people who are doing high level, and I like high level for what I'm doing, but there might be a simpler thing for people where they don't have to find these gurus. Right. Was it Salesforce that is so hard to set up? You got to get people to set it up in order for you to use it.
You have to pay ridiculous amounts for Salesforce. Like a Salesforce administrator is a $300,000 to $400,000 a year contract or gig for consultants, because they have to pay so much. And it's ridiculous in what you pay in the licenses. So we used to have Salesforce at the company I was at before, and the company was too cheap to buy licenses for the service and sales. So sales had it, but they wouldn't buy it for service. So we had to have 2 different ticket systems where sales did everything, and we were supposed to log in, and then they would log into something else, and we weren't sharing the same information. And that was because Salesforce was so expensive. And so companies are looking at, how do I, save money, but they're causing themselves bigger pain because they're not sharing data. And then you got 2 different systems. Now you're paying a consultant for Salesforce, you're paying something for something else. And we would have information that was in there that was like 5 to 6 years old, because they didn't want to pay for somebody to come back in and help keep it up to date. It was crazy.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking is, if you have somebody who wants to do a course, they don't have to do it. They want to put on a high level. They don't have to do anything. Why don't you, go, okay, this is what you're going to pay me $1,500, and I want 50% of your revenue from your course that you're not doing anything on right now.
Exactly. Sweat equity for a percentage is, look at what they do on Shark Tank and everything else.
Yeah.
Is, I'll be involved in your company, but I want a percentage of it. That's what Alex Hermosi's doing. That's what a lot of people are doing now. Is instead of saying, hey, I'll pay you for this, I want a percentage of it. And people are like, no, but if it's a percentage that you're not making now,
it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, when I make, who cares?
Right.
Would you rather have 50% of nothing? I mean, 100% of nothing, or 50% of something?
Exactly.
And I have no problem with that type of model, but don't try to get 15%, but then I'm paying you like 3,500. I'm not saying that's the numbers. I'm just saying those are, it's like,
it's an either or.
I could get somebody to redo the whole thing for me for that price, and they're not going to want a part of it.
Exactly. If you want a percentage, you got to do the sweat equity. And if you want to be paid up front, you better produce.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I'm like, maybe this other thing is easier for people because it's all inclusive. Yep. And they do have people help you, walk you through it and set it all up for $100 an hour or 100 something. But they're like, only takes 2 hours max.
Yeah.
Have it all set up, ready to go. You're like, wow. It was just a unique, different way. Again, back to being simple. Great name. I'm just saying, high level is a lot of learning to get to where you need to be. You need to hire people to get that stuff going. And
high level, you have to have a team. What you're saying is, what are apps you can do on your own, and then as you grow, we'll grow with you, or get you to a point where you can move to the next step.
The owner of the company still uses Simplero for everything he does.
Yep.
But I mean, he goes, I use it. So I'm the one that comes up and makes them. He goes, I take other people's courses and put into my thing so I can increase the speed on it, because they don't increase my speed. If you set it, you want to listen to it at 1.7 or whatever the number is, every time you open it, it's at that thing. You don't have to change it every time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, well, hey, I got to get running today. I got to go pick up kiddo. So,
all right, we'll be that way. So take us out.
I will. All right, everyone. Sorry, it's a shorter Joker day today, but as you know, Ed and I are here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, it's just Ed and I. And on days like today, which is Thursday, we normally have a Joker, but it was going to be a short one. We didn't want to cut anybody off. So the best way to support us is share that and subscribe, and come back and see us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So
that's correct.
Ed, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.